What's going on, everybody? KKM here, and in today's video, before you guys judge me, the sight I'm using is the Varix 3. There was actually a stealth buff to it recently, and so it made the amount of recoil that it reduces, it's basically equivalent to using 2 grips. So I suggest you guys use that out. It's basically a laser beam on any gun. It makes it a laser beam. And so yeah, make sure you guys check that out. But what I'm going to be talking about today is something that's very common on my channel, and something that I never like talking about, and this time it's going to be probably even more personal and more emotional than any recent one, and definitely the most emotional since probably Maniac's departure, but it's probably the most personal one that I've had so far. Now I know I sounded pretty emotional when I made the video about John leaving back in Ghost, but that was only because I guess, I don't know, maybe it was because it was my first time. I was a little young at the time, and you know, it was a pretty big roster change itself because John, I made my very first video on YouTube with him, and so that's how long he was on. That's how long he was on SSK, and he was even on SSK before that because I was playing with him a long time before we started recording videos. Back in like MW3 Black Ops 1, that's when we were playing with. That's when John was a part of SSK, and I'll save mine and John's relationship for another video as well, and I kind of actually want to describe that because not too many people understand mine and John's relationship, so I'll make sure to describe that in another video. But for this video, I'm just talking about roster changes, and there's going to be one more video after this because we still have to announce our 4th, but we've released 2 different people, and it's definitely a huge change, the biggest change we've had on SSK, because we've released both Nitro and Tizzy, and both of them have been released from the SSK roster, and this is definitely a big change because dropping Nitro, he's just, I mean, it's just weird to think because I've been truly blessed to have an uncle that's 6 months older than me, that shares every interest with me, and he's even my he's my teammate in Call of Duty. We played Zombies together on the Zombies team, and now we play competitive Call of Duty together, and we still play Zombies, you know, obviously, but I mean, just we've done it all together. Like, we were both best friends and brothers our whole entire life, and we still are, obviously, just not in game anymore. And he's the only person I've ever been to a LAN event with, and we played in a 2v2 in Detroit. And so, knowing that first time that I walk into the booth with 3 other people for my first 4v4 LAN, and knowing that Nitro's not going to be one of them, I mean, that's deep. Like, it's going to take me a long time to get used to Nitro not teaming with me. It's going to take me a long time to get used to saying my team and not involving Nitro, or saying SSK Gaming and Nitro not being included on that roster. Now, of course, I would still love for him to be like our manager or something, and I think that would be great because I haven't talked to him yet about it, but I think it'd be great if we could get him to be our manager because he's good with the financial part of it, and I feel like he could be a good manager and also a good coach at times, and then that way when we went to events, he wouldn't be playing alongside of me, but he'd still be there with me, and definitely, I guess, not really feel better. That sounds a little soft, but I mean, it definitely would be nice if he could still, like, kind of be there with us, and I think it's only right. And there's no way he's going to be gone from, like, the actual SSK as an organization or whatever. He's only gone from the roster, I promise, and so he's always going to be SSK Nitro no matter what, just like I'm always going to be SSK KCAM even if I ever retired from competitive Call of Duty. But just, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, it's weird. I mean, it's very different to think about. It's a huge change, and it's something that's going to take me a long time to get used to, just not playing with Nitro. And whenever I call the team on Skype, Nitro's not going to be in that call. I'm not going to hear him calling out, and I'm not going to be able to, like, poke all this fun at him. And it's just weird, but really it just got to a point. Back in, like, Ghost and AW, I'd always talk about dropping Nitro for his lack of dedication, and Huntsman was always like, oh, KK will never actually do it. But I mean, I knew myself that I wasn't actually going to do anything, and that I was all talk at the time. But it just got to a point where, alright, now is the time that we actually need to be playing, and Nitro's not playing. It's just, we couldn't do it anymore. It was too much at the time, and it wouldn't work out. And if we wanted to make this a career, we had to move on. We had to move on to the next stage in our careers. And I just don't think Nitro. I don't think that being a competitive player is what he wants to be. I think he wants to work for his dad, and gaming just wasn't one of his priorities. And that's totally fine. I 100% respect his life. He's allowed to have his own life. He can respect. I respect his own life, and I respect his priorities, his choices. He doesn't have to like gaming. I mean, it's perfectly fine. I'm not judging him at all. I mean, heck, people judge me for being a gamer, so I'm glad that he has his own life, and that's amazing. And I mean, as much as I wish things could have worked out, I think he'll be a lot happier this way. It's going to be very weird not teaming with him, but I think he'll be a little happier this way because he doesn't have that the stress of us kind of being mad at him for not ever getting on or anything, or he doesn't have the stress of having to make time for us. He can just kind of spend it all on whatever he wants to do, whether it's work, his girlfriend, friends, school, anything. He can kind of spend time on that. And I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I can't really think of the words that I want to use. It's just, it's going to be different. It's going to be very weird for me for the first how long, because without Nitro, there would be no K-Cam. I wouldn't be making this video. I wouldn't be playing Call of Duty. I wouldn't even own a PS4, I bet. And it's just insane to think. But, I mean, we just had to. It got to the point where, alright, we have to do this now. It's just something we have to do. We have to move on. It's just time. And as much as it sucks, it's just life. And, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll get over it, but it's just very weird to think. It's very hard. It's hard on me just because I haven't went a day in my entire life without teaming with him. He was there for me when I was born, even. Like, literally from birth, he was there. And he was my friend. And just our whole life, he goes on vacation with me. He goes, like, basically, we're brothers and best friends. We're both. Like, the relationship we have it's irreplaceable. But anyways, I guess that's enough talk about Nitro for now. I'll talk about Tizzy. And when we met Tizzy, he was a pretty terrible CS player. But then as time went on, he became actually really good at the game. And we knew this was happening, obviously, because when he had that fight with us, and he had that fight with us, and basically he left right then and there. But no one ever made it official. He never flat out said, I'm leaving, and we never flat out said, you're dropped. So this is basically us just making it official that Tizzy is no longer on the roster. And I look forward to watching him play CS. He's still my friend, obviously. Or not obviously, but he's still my friend. And I'm definitely going to be supporting him. And it's pretty cool to think that someone that just a year ago I met from GBs is now playing CS and winning CEVO seasons. And so that's pretty cool to think. And then also the gameplay is going to end here, but I got like one more thing to talk about, and it's not going to take too long, I promise. But our first pickup is John, and John used to be a very terrible Call of Duty player, and as of now, we haven't played with him since Ghost, but now he's actually pretty good, and he definitely shows a lot of potential of being a really good player, and I'm kind of excited. I mean, I have been teaming with him technically for a little bit now, but I'm kind of excited to play with him and, kind of add him to the team and bring him into the team. And like I said, I'm going to explain our friendship a little bit later in a different video, but I definitely think that this is going to be a fun addition to the team. And I don't mean fun as in we're going to suck. I mean fun as in, like, it's going to bring a new attitude to the team, because John is a person who wants to win, and he gets frustrated when he loses. And so I think that's going to be a good attitude to bring to the team, whereas Nitro is just like, yeah, whatever. He wanted to win, obviously, but, I mean, Nitro didn't really take it too seriously. And with John, he gets frustrated if he loses, and I think I can kind of take him under my wing and mentor him a little bit, just take him that extra step to become a really good player, and just really solidify this team. And then our fourth, we're going to have to wait a week or two to announce. I'm pretty sure I know who it is, but we're going to have to wait a week or two to announce it, just because we want to play a little bit more, and make sure that it's official, make sure that we want us four teaming, and we want that to be the official roster. And as of now, that's what it's looking like. I'm pretty sure we're undefeated in every single game we played so far, and we've played some really good teams as well. And so that's definitely something you guys are going to want to look out for on this channel. And I don't think there's anything else I wanted to talk about. So hope you guys have a great day. Like, subscribe for more. Comment if you have any comments, questions, concerns, suggestions, anything. And I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.